Hello, welcome to Eagles Nightly Cafe on Eagles Talk. I have some things to discuss today, and I wanted to continue the preview episode. So, we're going to start off with something Amon St. Brown said about the Eagles, that they haven't played a good team and that the Lions could beat them. Well, that's cute and all, but the Eagles would have dominated them regardless. I mean, they outright decimated the Chiefs, and I really was not expecting such a blowout. Now, I did predict a 42-21 score, which I was 3 points off, but I did not expect such a domination because it could have been 40-6. I was really, really, really shocked at that. Like, completely. I knew they were going to dominate, but I didn't know that the defense was going to dominate that badly, which I'm really happy about because the Chiefs really needed a wake up call, and so did a lot of the NFL needed a wake up call. But in the beginning of the game, there was a couple of penalties that made me go, wait, are they going to do um, the refs calling the game for the Chiefs? But that's kind of turned around later. And I honestly think that had something to do with the fact that on Twitter, the NFL released a statement about the refs not being um, paid off or anything else like that. So I think that had a lot to do with it because a lot of people were starting to come on to the fact that the refs were doing the calling the games for the Chiefs, like even in the Bills and Chiefs game. But that's beside the point. I honestly think that a lot of these NFL players that are saying stuff is because they just want to be in the headlines when they have nothing else to do right now since they didn't win a Super Bowl and didn't get to a Super Bowl or anything. So they talk a lot of big game, and well, that also happened with the Dallas Cowboys, with Dak Prescott saying that they're one step away from being as good as the Eagles, which is all bull. Even Skip Bayless and a bunch of other people came out and said no. But Michael Irvin, of course, said that it's true, and so did another guy on Speak, I believe it was. He said the same too. And it's just ridiculous that they actually think the Cowboys could do that. First off, they need a new owner before they can get into anything like remotely close to the Eagles. And they need a lot of roster moves. And honestly, I don't think they can win with that. I know that's probably a hot take to some people, but he has not proved he can win in the postseason, which is just my 2 cents on it. But that'll be it for that segment. Let's go into the next one. Alright, this segment is going to talk about the 13 roster moves from the Eagles that they did. Now, some of these guys I do know. Some of them I do not know, unfortunately. I know a lot about a lot of players, but I don't know a lot of the third and fourth string or practice squad guys, so I apologize ahead of time. The Eagles have signed DB Tarek Castro Fields, Perry Nickerson, AJ Woods, Andre Sam, wide receivers Elijah Cooks, Danny Grant, and running back Tyron Davis Price, and linebackers Dallas Grant and Ochon Mathis, defensive lineman KJ Henry and Gabe Hall, tight end Nick Muse, and offensive lineman Laken Vakalahi. I'm sorry, I butchered that name so bad. I apologize. I am not good with names. But some of the guys, Gabe Hall, I would definitely keep your eyes on. He showed a lot of potential, and I'm glad they brought him back. And running back Darian Davis Price, I do believe will end up making the roster, provided what the Eagles do in the draft and free agency, as we could be losing Gainwell. Um, I'm not too concerned about losing Gainwell. We have AJ Shipley and a few other, and Price and the Eagles are really good at finding quality running backs late in the draft too. So I'm not really worried about that. Um, Gabe Hall, though, I really think since we're most likely going to lose, um, what's his name? Milton Williams, which makes me sad because I really wanted to keep him. But considering the compensation that we'll get for losing him, and Howie is really keen on getting those compensation picks because he works magic with them. And you give him a fifth round pick, a fourth round pick, or a third round pick, he's going to turn it into something bigger than that. He's going to get the value out of it, as he's been proven to do so recently. I mean, look at all the draft picks he ended up trading away, and who he brought in, and what other draft picks they brought in too from trades. He's a magician, and he'll do his magic for sure. I don't really know. I mean, Elijah Cook sounds familiar to me. Danny Grant, I think he's just a rotational guy for now. I don't know much about him. So the biggest guys that I would believe is Tyrion Davis Price and Gabe Hall. I'm not sure about Castro Fields. I think there's more to that one, but I gotta actually do a little bit more research into him. But that's it for this segment. I'm sorry if I'm moving around too fast. I have a lot to talk about today, so I'm trying not to waste your time. In this segment, we're going to talk about the offensive coordinators' positions for the Eagles. Now, it says that, let me pull up my site. Come on. Alright. The Eagles are losing Doug Nussmeier. Sorry. I don't know if I said that correctly. He did get signed with the Saints. So our offensive coordinator position is still open, and we also lost a quarterbacks coach. However, as far as I know right now, Parker is not going to the Saints. I don't know if that'll change, but I want to keep Parker very, very badly, our defensive DB's coach. I really want to keep him. He did an amazing job with Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell, and Slay, and Maddox, and which surprised me with Maddox, and Rogers. So he's definitely one I want to keep a hold on. As far as the other candidates, now this one goes into a couple of guys that has been talked about. But as far as the offensive coordinator, I would rather sign Frank Reich. I really think he would do really well. Now, the debate on that one is, does he feel like he wants to take the offensive coordinator position over the head coach, especially with his protege? Sirianni studied under Reich, so I'm not sure if Reich would be interested in that. He has stated that he could return to the NFL to do some coaching, but it doesn't say what position he would take as a coach. So I don't really know much of these other guys. Byron Leftwich, really? That one might be an interesting one. I'm not sure how good of a coach he is, though. Yeah, they don't talk about Reich at all. Josh McCown, no. I don't know about that one. Well, maybe. And McCown is an interesting guy. He might be an interesting quarterbacks coach for the Eagles because he's a good guy. I honestly believe. Oh, yeah, he's also has experience in Frank Reich's version of the West Coast offense. I would be interested in bringing him as a quarterbacks coach, but if you can't get Frank Reich as an offensive coordinator, that might be an interesting discussion about Josh McCown being an offensive coordinator. I'm not sure if that's a good move yet, but it's something to keep your eyes on. For the other coaches, I'm not really sure. What would you guys would want? As far as I understand, Kevin Petrullo is going to somewhere else. I don't think he's going to be signing with the Eagles. There was a report stating that there was another team that was interested in him, though I'm not sure what team that is. So let me take a quick look to see if it can come up. Let's see here. The Saints. Oh, I don't know about. No, that was 7 days ago. Let's see. Does it say anything? No. I'll have to track that article down and see if I can find it again. If I do, I'll post it in the next video. And I don't know what else to say about that one. Sorry, this is going a little fast, but once I get more practice and get a template going for episodes like this, I will definitely do better. I promise. Alright, this one, I'm not going to go too much into this right now. I want to do a draft video eventually. Later is when I start doing more research. When we get closer to the draft, that's when I start looking into the draft and who's available and figure out what kind of targets the Eagles would be going for. This right here is our draft picks for the year. So we end up having round 1, pick 32, round 2, pick 64, round 3, pick 96, round 4, pick 129 from the Detroit Lions, round 5, pick 162 from the Houston Texans, round 5, pick 166 from the Commanders, round 5, pick 169, round 6, and round 7 we have none. So I expect Howie to make a lot of trades, VI picks, and possibly trading some people off, though who I'm not 100% sure right now. Kenny Pickett is one of the candidates that might be sent off, and I think you might be able to recover your 3rd round pick for him, pending how bad somebody wants him. He has shown that he can play, considering he played very well with a broken rib. So I'm actually impressed by that. I did get a little bit more for Kenny Pickett, but I still don't think he's a good quality 2nd string quarterback, though he could prove me wrong, and I want him to prove me wrong. Right now, I see him as a 3rd or a 2nd, depending on certain teams. Some teams he could push for that starting job, so it's possible. As far as other moves moves that I think the Eagles could do with current players, well, since free agency is right around the corner, I don't really know who else you could really trade. Bradbury, I would consider trying to get dump off, if not just outright cutting him. Um, Slay, if you resign him, I think he might retire or he might consider staying another year. I think he does want to stay another year. And you got Brandon Graham that possibly wants to stay another year. However, if you let go Slay and Bradbury, you free up $34 million in cap space. Now, I don't know if that's total or if that's just from releasing those two. When we get closer to the free agency, I will do an entire video on the draft. Blech. Sorry, free agency. I'm not with it today. I had a long, long night. It was my girlfriend's birthday, and yeah, I drank a bit. So, but yeah, I'm going to work on making my content a little bit better. But I just wanted to touch on some things for the first show and try to get things going and get more into the flow of things. I'll be able to pace myself better and things like that as I go on. Right now, this is the best I can do at the moment. Also, I need to get a better mic. I apologize ahead of time for this. I know I made some comments in the description and stuff about it, so I will do that. But now for the last part. What I plan on doing with my Eagles Nightly Cafe channel. That is a late night show I plan on doing. The talk show will be posted late night. I will do some late night live streams when I'm able to. If I can't do the late night live streams, I'll do them during the day and release them at night. Because there's not a lot of shows out there that do late night sports talk. So that is what I plan on doing with my channel. And I want to bring out, content that I can give you and give you guys something different. I know I'm late on some of the topics and a lot of people covered things that I said. But I still wanted to discuss some of those things and get my thoughts on them out there. So if I don't go into something, it's because a lot of people already did that. You can go to Joey Shake's channel. You can go to Philly 500. There's a lot of content creators that cover a lot of the same things. So I want to try to do things that are different. But if I think of a topic is important enough to talk about, like Frank Reich, for example, I really want him to come back to Philly. I knew his mom very, very well. I was friends with her, and may she rest in peace. It broke my heart to hear that she passed on about 10 years ago, something like that. She was my gym teacher. I was very young then, and she was at the end of her teaching career in the school that I went to. But I do believe that Frank Reich got a lot of his coaching from his mom, because she was a very hands-on, very open-ended person, and if you had something wrong, she would just sit down and just talk to you. So, and work it out, and she would basically play guidance counselor, even though she was a gym coach. She was a very wonderful woman, and she was my favorite teacher of all time. So, I honestly believe Frank Wright took a lot of what his mom taught and how the way she went about things and applied it to his way of coaching. So, I would be really interested to see him back as a coordinator. Maybe I'm biased, I'll admit that, but I do believe he is a good coach. So that is all the time I got for right now. I promise I will do better on the next episodes. in videos for these. And hopefully I can get my new mic soon. Alright, you all have a wonderful day and, well, night. For me anyway. Have a good one. I'm out.